consistently attract soulmate clients, begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalyn Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spots that activate your soulgasmic business. Enjoy this light language activation as we begin to magnetize and monetize. Hello, my loves. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for choosing this episode. And a reminder that if you do love this episode, please do leave a review. Take a screenshot of this podcast cover and shout me out on social media so that more people can tune in as well. On Instagram, it's Bold Sexy Warrior, and on Facebook, it's Rosalyn Fung Coaching Bold Sexy Warrior. It would mean the world to me for you to share your takeaways from this episode. And trust me, my loves, it's going to be a really fun, passionate one. I just can feel it. So I'm also very excited that the doors have opened to my 12-week Mastermind Client Attraction Academy. This is for you if you're a coach, healer, practitioner, or light worker that's just starting your business, or you have been in business for a while, but you're wanting to pivot, or you haven't quite monetized yet. So we are going to help you turn on your clients and money through flow through be, do, and have. Be who you are, authentically express, do and create life and business from who you authentically are so that you can have all that you deeply desire. And my loves, this is the most feasible way to work with me, and you can learn more and enroll at www.the7figureconfidence.com/academy. All right, now on to today's episode. Let me ask you this. Have you ever really wondered, how do I optimize my mental capacity? Have you ever sat with yourself and asked that question? And what happens when you bring together Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, Reiki, and psychology? Well, my loves, you get Jason Wu. He is my special guest today. He is a mind-body alchemist. Jason is passionate about helping individuals who are living a fear-based, lost, and disconnected lifestyle to live more authentically and feel grounded enough to take on any adventure with both curiosity and fun. He wants to inspire you to make shit happen. And with the alchemy of traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and psychology, Jason is able to provide a multidimensional perspective with his treatment plans. Jason is able to provide treatments of acupuncture, Electro-Acupuncture, cupping, Gua Sha, Moxibustion, Therapeutic Massage, Reflexology, and Reiki. Oh my gosh, this man is like so incredibly gifted. All of these methods allow Jason to effectively treat clients for pain management, digestive problems, and mental health issues. After completing 9 years of study in the holistic health sciences, Jason continued to pursue his interest in the mental health field by studying graduate level counseling psychology at Yorkville University in hopes to be able to register as a psychologist. Oh, this is going to be such a fun episode. Those of you who are just getting to know me now, I am a former registered psychologist, so I always love jamming with other psychologists and people in the field. Oh, so good. Welcome, welcome, Jason.
Thank you.
Can you guys already feel the vibes? Like Jason and I, you guys, when you go see his pictures on social media, oh, looks like there's something happening in the background there. They're like, coming in hot. Sirens are signs. Yes. So Jason, I just wanted to have you guys check out his like social media on Instagram. It's the.acu.psych, PSYCH. You will just get his energy and his vibe. And Jason, the first time I saw you was actually before we met. You were on a commercial for a local venue called the Foundry Room. And Jason, you have such a beautiful energy. You're beautiful inside and out. I'm just like, wow. It was fascinating with the way you carried yourself in this. And I would say the commercial was pretty sexy. Like it had sexy, chill music and vibes. And it had like you providing acupuncture and cupping with a fire and Reiki. And you look like this Buddha. Like, I'm like, who is this person? Like, I need to know this person. I don't even remember who reached out first. I think you did.
Yes.
How did this happen? Were you commenting on my story? I don't remember, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's Buddha from the commercial.
So this journey started with me actually looking for a supervisor who basically was aligned with all of my principles of practice. And so when I was looking, your name was the first to pop up. And I was like, oh my God, what? I immediately had to follow you because I was like, there's something about this woman. She has got some vibes and I want part of it. And then I saw that you're no longer registered. And I was like, I don't care. I still want to flow with her and see what's up. So I definitely was on that journey, and I'm still flowing with whatever you have.
Oh, I love it, Jason. I love it. I love that we're becoming friends, and this is so awesome to have you on the podcast. And audience, I know it is a little bit stacky, so we apologize in advance. We hope that doesn't affect the amazing quality of the message coming through to you. Jason, I'd love for you to share how you got to be who you are today and do what you do.
So buckle up, everyone, because this story it's a mind everything. It is a hilarious journey, and it's one of those things that I believe that all of your experiences kind of shape kind of how you are, but this story of how the straw that broke the camel's back is ridiculous. So what a lot of people don't know is that when I started my academic career, I was actually studying to become a genetic engineer and immunologist. And I was studying at McEwen, and I was doing my first year sciences, and I was going a mile a minute. And for those of you who have ever attempted to do a bachelor's science or who have succeeded, bravo to you, because I was lighting the wick at both ends, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. So imagine a chemistry lab where you have to do a simple chemical reaction, and you are supposed to have one substance and put it through a chemical reaction and have the exact same solution at the very end. Unfortunately, to my dismay, I could not find my iron. So I had like 1 gram of iron at the beginning, and then I had half my iron at the end. And I was like, oh my God, where's my iron? I'm losing my shit. I can't find it. Like there's no mess on the table. There's nothing. And I remember me and my lab partner just started getting frustrated because at this point in your lab, if you don't complete this lab, you are potentially going to fail the course because these assignments are way so much. So you can imagine the stress, the turmoil, and everything we're going through. And there was this little voice in my head that was like, are you happy? And I was like, no, this is frustrating. And so I remember in that split moment, I decided to grab my books, grab my materials, and I was like, I'm done. And I walked to the registrar's office, and then I went and I dropped that class. And guess where that damn iron was? Where? At the bottom of my lab coat. somehow, in the hot mess of that experiment, I somehow dropped some of the solution, and before I even added the iron into the chemical reaction, it somehow ended up on my lab coat. So I took that as a sign from the universe to be like, check yourself, because clearly you're not happy.
Wow.
Right. So funny enough, my mom, being the loving mom that she is, she's like, we're going to blow some money. Let's just go and have an us day chill. And so we actually went to the Russian tea room here in Edmonton, Alberta.
Excuse me, whose mom is like that? That is amazing.
Right? Saying. We're like, let's go and have some fun. Let's go and do some things. And so I met the psychic, and like, this psychic was not like any other psychic I've ever seen, read, heard about. He was a sassy guy who was exactly how you want your psychic to be. He was sassy. He told you like it was, and he did not hold back. And I was like, I need this. So he told me from our reading that to do the holistic health program at McEwen. And it's so funny because like I'm a science student. I'm very skeptical. I'm like, I'm checking him up and down. I'm like, nah, we'll see what this guy's got. And he told me to look at the holistic health program at McEwen. That is your calling. That is going to set you on the trajectory of your path. And he's like, what your goal is in this lifetime is to unite the East and West of medicine. And I was like, oh, that's cheesy. Like, who says that, right? Like, he's just working for $1, right? But it's interesting because he was right. Like, it was the craziest thing. And when I applied to McEwen, I was actually waitlisted, and I was going to drop out of school, and I was going to apply back in the year after, and I was going to work up in camp, and the universe was like, no. So it was so fascinating because I was literally preparing to go leave in camp, and I got the email saying I was accepting the program. And I mean, like, I was hella far down on that wait list, so I didn't even think it was possible that I was going to be getting in that program. And the holistic health program really is what set the foundation of my practice and how I move today with my clients, because that program, although a little bit interesting with some things, definitely provided a very well-rounded perspective to the body, mind, spirit, how to treat it, how to look at it, how to help people. And I will never regret taking that program. And then from there, it was just, what do you want to add to your basket? So I took massage therapy. I fell in love with acupuncture. I loved Reiki. And oh my God, the story about Reiki was hilarious. Like, okay, so again, I am a science student. I am very skeptical. There are some things in this world I'm like, no, nice try, but no. And Reiki was one of them. And I used to make fun of Reiki practitioners because I was like, what is this woo-woo? What do you think you're doing? Like, what are you channeling? And it wasn't until I got a tattoo. So I got a cover-up of a tattoo from a ghetto tattoo that I got when I was younger. And it was really irritated, and it was basically bad enough that I was ready to leave class. And when our instructor called break, she came up to me and she's like, you look visibly uncomfortable, and asked what was wrong. And I was like, well, I just got this tattoo done. I'm not really feeling this class right now. Like, I just feel like just schmucky, you know? I don't feel like I'm grounded. And let me tell you, this woman, like this 56-year-old woman, she didn't even touch me. She just hovered her hands above the tattoo. And it was maybe like a minute, like not even, like we had a very short break. And you could visibly see the inflammation leave my tattoo. The itchiness was gone. The irritation was gone. And I was like, no, like, what did you do? Like, did you have, like, what is this string? Like, what? And she's like, I just did a little bit of Reiki. I just asked your body to process this irritation and, like, whatever. And I was sold. I was like, sign me up for the next Reiki workshop. And lo and behold, so I didn't want to take Reiki as part of the holistic health program, but I took it on the side while I was also doing the holistic health program. And I studied it for 2 years. I did my master level because I really wanted to immerse myself in what Reiki could provide as a practitioner. And also, how can I weave it in to everything else that I'm doing? And so that was a beautiful experience. And I've learned so much, not only about energy, not about Reiki, but also about myself, because I think that's a very important part of being on this journey, is that as a healer, you're not necessarily healing other people. You're healing yourself to a point that echoes into the universe and attracts people who are on that same vibe and eventually will align themselves with your past self. Kind of like how you've spoken about this before, that your clients align themselves with your past self and kind of have this now, manual as to help themselves get out of the rut that they've been in. I really don't believe in the whole thing like I'm healing you. I like the idea of being a guide and helping you mosey along.
But I love what you just shared. I feel like that's so huge that you don't like. I love how you shared it, Jason, just with you're not healing others. You are bringing the energy, but we're really facilitating. We're really facilitating and guiding people to heal themselves.
Absolutely.
With that vibration, I love that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So what I mean by that, and why I think it's so important, is because as healers, there is an ego that can develop. And I imagine that everyone at some point has met somebody who has placed themselves on this pedestal, and it hasn't really helped move people and empower them. And so as a healer, if you will, I'm all about that empowerment. I think that you should be living your best life. I'm living my best life. Why shouldn't you be, right? And so by facilitating and guiding your clients or anyone who is looking for some guidance can really benefit from the things that we are offering to them.
Beautiful.
Right.
We're actually going to just really pause there because I know that there's more to your story. So we're going to go into commercial. And when we come back, Jason, I'd love for you to share more of this journey. What a powerful journey you've been on.
Oh, thank you.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Life is a flow, and enlightenment is simply harmonizing with the way life really is. Then you find that life is effortless, benevolent, and free of all suffering. Hey everyone, this is GP Walsh, and I want to invite you to my brand new radio show that's launching right here on OMTimes Radio called The Flow of Enlightenment. I've been a spiritual teacher for decades, and my greatest pleasure is being able to share with you these deep and highly practical spiritual ideas. So join me in The Flow every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern and let yourself be transformed.
My loves, you know you're here as a soul-led leader to transform this world through the sharing of your passions and gifts. You are here to be in your warrior of light and align your business with your highest self. I'm Rosalyn Fung of the show Activate Your Soulgasmic Business. Let's elevate your business to the next expansive level. I invite you to flow into a business soul alignment discovery call with me at rosalynfung.com. That's ROSALYN, fun as in have some fun, FUNG, and let's see how I can best hold space for you to align your highest self, magnetize your dream clients, and monetize on your soul mission. I can't wait to connect.
COVID-19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
Do you feel like your emotions are all over the place? That's normal during this abnormal time. There are a number of ways to cope. Maintain a healthy routine, get enough sleep, eat nutritious food, and exercise at least 30 minutes each day. Schedule some time to talk with a friend or family member. And remember, you can always take a few deep breaths to feel more centered.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
Welcome back, love. So, Jason, I'd love for you to continue sharing your story.
Awesome. Thank you. So, continuing from where we left off to going from massage therapy and studying acupuncture, and I'm also a yoga teacher as well. And so I think this was a pivotal moment where I realized mental health is so important. It is the foundation of how you move. Not just moving in your body, but also moving spiritually. And then also observing how all three of those interdimensions connect and reflect into the world around us. And so I'm the type of person where once I find something I'm passionate about, I am guns a-blazing, I am all in, all the dice are out. And so when I started studying massage therapy, I also tacked on acupuncture and my yoga teacher training. It's a lot. So in a year and a half, I did my first year of acupuncture.
I can say that.
True,
like,
right?
Oh,
this
certification is enough? Okay, let's just take on another one.
Yeah, why not? Like, who cares about weekends, right? Right?
We study.
Yeah, we got that nailed. So I was studying my first year of acupuncture, my second year of massage, and I was doing my yoga teacher on weekends. So I maybe had one weekend a month where I was like, let's breathe. But on top of that, I was also working 20 hours a week as a massage therapist while I was doing my second year. So literally burning the wick at both ends. And as I was navigating this and as I was burning through everything, I think I burnt out about month 8 out of 12 and a half months, or 12 and a half months. And I could start feeling myself slowing down and not being able to absorb material. I wasn't able to be present. I started having, I wouldn't say violent mood swings, but let's just say like chocolate was definitely something that needed to be within arm's reach at all times. Right?
Yes. Love it.
Right? And so I remember in that moment being like, why am I doing this? Why do I feel the need to burn this wick at both ends? Like, what am I driving to? And after reflecting that, I knew that I had to change my mindset. I needed to figure something out that was going to make me survive, because I only at this point had 4-ish months left of stuff. And if I can survive that, I'll make it through everything. And I did. I focused on my intention on my clients, my future clients, and everyone that I want to share these gifts with. However, what people don't realize about acupuncture is that acupuncture is a regulated profession that requires you to have a license. And that license process is, we have 5 exams, 5 board exams that we have to survive to be able to practice acupuncture here in Alberta. And so as I continued from that journey on through my acupuncture diploma, I definitely did change the mindset, but I don't think I changed the foundation of it enough to be grounded. And so as I survived the acupuncture program, I also had to survive the board exams. And so that is when I started to seek psychological intervention, because test anxiety, performance anxiety, the feelings of not being good enough or not being safe, like all of those limiting self-beliefs were really starting to creep up. And that's the thing about these things. It's not when you're on top of the world. It is when you're minding your business, when you're floating through and you think you're okay, that these things start to creep up. And eventually, if you don't deal with them, they start to get louder and louder and louder, and then they start to bleed into the environment around you. And I noticed that my relationship started to be walking on eggshells. My relationship with my mom, my dad, my brother were not ideal. My academic performance felt like it was failing, because when I'm studying for the board exam, I I remember getting so frustrated because I was like, why am I forgetting these basic rudimentary concepts that have been echoed through the entire experience of studying acupuncture? And so I started to seek psychological intervention. And so I went to Shift Psychological, and it's so fascinating because the universe definitely spoke in and was like, okay, we're going to give you somebody who is exactly what you need. And as you can tell by my personality, I need someone to tell me how it is. I can't, if you're like dancing around the subject, I'm not going to get it. I'm a derpy potato. I need you to tell me exactly how it is and sass me about it and call me out on my bullshit. And it's exactly what my psychologist at Shift Psychological did. She is a force to be reckoned with. She is someone who is also a game changer, a light worker, and she is someone who will call you out on your shit. And that helped me exponentially when it came to figuring out what was wrong with my life, how to fix it. And that's the other thing too. I'm very goal oriented. I don't like beating around the bush. Don't get me wrong. I love expression of emotion and I love crying once in a while, but to do it every day, that's not me. I'm like, let's fix this shit. And so through that experience, she gave me the tools to not only identify when I'm being triggered, when I'm having difficulty navigating these circumstances, but also how to fix it and fix it in the moment and fix it like now. And I nailed those board exams. Like I made them my bitch. So now I'm obviously a registered acupuncturist. And then I was like, I want to do this thing too. I want to be able to help people to this capacity and be able to echo that into the universe and make them feel like they are on top of the world. Because when I passed those board exams, let me tell you, I was on top of the world for a good 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then from there, I decided to investigate. Because the other thing too is like, I also don't like wasting time. Not that studying is wasting time, but I didn't want to start a degree from scratch. So there is this beautiful program in British Columbia at Thompson Rivers University that took my acupuncture diploma and used that program to bridge into a degree in my undergraduate. And so I didn't have to do a full year. I had to do 10 more courses. And I focused again on psychology and human conditions and taking client care or client-directed care management. And I ended up getting a bachelor in health sciences. And after that, I was like, nailed it. I golden, and I was
You felt
amazed
like all the alchemy of you could come together.
100%. Those are the exact words that described my feeling, right? And then from there, I applied to Yorkville. I got in, and now I have almost finished my coursework. I began my practicum here in May, and I'm practicing and focusing on really what I'm passionate about is helping at-risk communities like the LGBT community, First Nations communities, and really trying to echo that multidimensional perspective that I can provide using these modalities to help mend that mind-body connection that's been damaged through either intergenerational trauma or through abuse or through just trauma, period. Because especially I can think that everyone can attest right now being through the COVID pandemic that we are going through a collective traumatic experience and we're all feeling a little ungrounded. And hopefully that I can provide a medium to help these people navigate the future and help heal communities globally.
Oh, so beautiful. And I just want to acknowledge you, Jason, just for really like sharing such a powerful journey and coming, I'm going to say, home to yourself and really connecting with all your soul's purpose through all these different beautiful tools and modalities that you offer. And so I heard you say you specifically love working and you're very passionate with the LGBTQ community as well as the Aboriginal community. Can you say like a little more about how that arrived?
Okay, so like I said, when I was studying my Reiki training, I found a lot about myself, and I found that sexuality is not black and white. You're not either or, and that is a spectrum. And that really helped me live more authentically and basically come home to being okay with being bisexual. And as I navigate the world as a bisexual individual, it is very difficult when you are looking at how the heterosexual community is treating you, but also the homosexual community. And so I really want to focus on helping bisexual individuals be okay with being bisexual without having the repercussions of the trauma or the abuse that's imposed by both other communities. And then, of course, not only am I Asian and specifically Chinese, I'm also First Nations. My mother was adopted and she has First Nation descent. And I think another big part of that story was my experience living on a Métis settlement. So I will tell you guys about this little, I say it's a little, but a lot of people think it's traumatic, because in my eyes, what had happened was actually the catalyst that opened up my connection to the universe. It is the one that like snapped me back to my full purpose and set me on the path that I needed to take to do what I needed to do in this lifetime. And so when I was 16, so about 3 weeks before my 17th birthday, my house caught on fire. And my mom's boyfriend ended up losing his life in that fire, which is unfortunate. But again, the circumstances surrounding his death, I don't wish anyone harm, but I do wish people to leave people's lives in a way that allows them to grow and be safe. And so in this circumstance, he left my life in a way that allowed me to live more authentically and to be safe with the way I was moving. And so we lost our home, and the house wasn't insured because it's on a Métis settlement. And so we lost everything. We had nothing. Like, we were literally starting from scratch. But what that moment taught me was, I had my first strong empathic response. I have never felt something so strong or so deep in my soul. And that's, I think, what unlocked my ability to be very empathic and very connected to individuals, even deeper than how I already was. But this also taught me that there are people to catch you. There is community. There are individuals out there that don't have malicious intent and are genuinely going to be there for when you fall. And I think that was a very important lesson to me, because that is how I am as a practitioner. I am going to be your rock when you don't have one. I will be your safety net when you fall, because we are all going to at some point in our life. And so as I navigated moving through that trauma and through that situation, I really got to see who is there and who's going to stick and who wasn't. And so I was able to recognize those qualities in a human being that, for me at least, was able to be responsive to the needs or to the intent that could meet my needs, right? So as a therapist and as a practitioner, I really think it's important to be aware of what you're offering, but also be aware of what people need at that time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's being sensitive to all aspects, the whole.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And especially navigating that trauma and moving forward, like, I was living my best life. Like, a lot of people don't realize, but I was okay. I was okay. I had a really good safety net. I had my needs met, both physically, mentally, and psychologically and spiritually. So it was fine. It actually was interesting because I didn't realize how society paints a picture of how suffering should look like, or how growth and spiritual awakening should look like, because that was my spiritual awakening. I didn't find it aggressive. I didn't find it like as dramatic as some people think. And others expected me to be like down in the dumps and explosive and reactive. Like, I remember I had to go to the counselor's office because teachers were so concerned that how I was moving that I actually started fire. And I was like, what? Who's starting rumors? Who is starting rumors that I started my house fire? Like, this is ridiculous. But going back, I digress. Going back to that experience, I think it's really important that even if you are going through a negative time, no matter how negative it is, I think it's important to be aware of who has you and how they're helping you and to what capacity they're going to go for you. And so as a therapist, that is really what I focus on, is my particular flavor and how that flavor can help you get to where you want to go and make it happen.
Beautiful. I really want to highlight what you just shared here, which is the power of support, the power of community, the power of those one-on-one professional relationships that can help us navigate through trauma, through loneliness, through whatever it is that we're going through in our journey. That, you know, I'm just in awe of your story. This is my first time really hearing I've heard pieces in our conversations together, Jason, but it's so beautiful to hear the wholeness of this and just, wow, how that symbolism of your house fire, how that just really is, it's like, I see like, it's like that rebirth, and you get to see what you're really made of, and you get to really see that there's abundance all around, and it's not in the materialistic things. It's in the relationships. It's in the community. It's in the resources. And I just really feel that so deeply. So thank you so much for sharing this. When we come back from a commercial, I'd love to dive in a little bit deeper with you walking us through some of the methods, we'll say, and how you can support somebody.
Of course. Thank you.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
The United States has the highest rate of incarceration in the world. At the Equal Justice Initiative, we believe mass incarceration has to end. There is this presumption of dangerousness and guilt that gets assigned to Black and brown people. We have to confront our history of racial injustice and commit to a new era of truth. There's something better waiting for us, something that feels more like freedom. Truth can inspire change. Please learn more at eji.org.
All right, welcome back, love. So, Jason, I just loving your story so much, and the whole mind-body alchemy, that approach that you bring to this world. And it's very unique. To be honest, I don't know many people who have all these beautiful offerings and then your rich personal background. And so I'm curious about, how do most people, because you offer lots of different modalities, how do most people come in? What's that front door?
the physical body, the physical body. And this is why I love mind-body alchemy and why I love Chinese medicine so much. It's because we believe that the outside is a reflection of the inside. The macrocosm is a reflection of the microcosm. The mind is a reflection of the body, and vice versa. And so when people come in, they're coming in for aches, pains, physiological dysfunctions like indigestion, upset stomach, all that stuff. And so when you first come in, we start addressing those concerns and we start looking at, okay, what's causing the muscle tension? Is it something from overuse? Is it from a particular pattern of movement? And typically not. I will say typically not, especially with people sitting in desks and the types of responsibilities people are taking on these days. There's a huge amount of stress and overbearing responsibility. And that's when we start diving into the juicy parts of how the mind is impacting the body. And people are very, very surprised to find out that, when I'm chewing or when I am locking my jaw at night, or when I'm grinding my teeth, or when my shoulders are close to my ears, or when my stomach is not working well, that these are a reflection of the internal mechanisms of the mind. And so we start to segue into that conversation of how are you moving and what are you moving with? And then from there, we start exploring some of the thoughts, some of the energetics that are surrounding that individual at that time, and start segueing into their individual treatment.
Wow. And then does that also move into coaching? And when you're doing coaching, is it at the same time on the table through the physical body?
100%.
Or, yeah, oh, that's so beautiful. Do people ever come to you for coaching because they're not local in the area? Do they come see you for coaching as well?
So coaching is actually a new service that I started offering because one of the things that happened in Alberta was lockdown. And I found a lot of my clients not being able to cope and not having direction. And so I wanted to give something that if you can't come see me because of health reasons or what have you, I can offer you the service that 100% I got you. Like I said, I will be your support. I will be your rock when you are having difficulty navigating. So coaching is an amazing tool where I can start introducing some strategies to help you navigate, especially the COVID pandemic, how to manage the stress that comes with it, and then also focus on being able to develop goals and how to achieve them as you come out of this pandemic as well.
Oh, so powerful. I love how you, like you said earlier in the episode, we need to honor our own tools, but also listen to what people need as well, and then create the like close the gap with meeting them where it's at. And that's exactly a perfect example of how you do that so beautifully, Jason. Wow.
Right.
Wow. So powerful. And your clients are so blessed. And so I would love to just really move into beautiful meditation guided by Jason today.
Hello.
And so I'll just invite you to, Jason, lead wherever you feel called to lead with the meditation today, and I'll come in for a light language activation, and then we'll make sure we leave some room for how people can connect with you as well at the end.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to ask that wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, make sure that you are comfortable, make sure that you are safe, and that the world around you is able to hold whatever you're going to be exploring through this brief meditation. And so as you connect to your breathing, inhaling and exhaling, that you slowly begin to melt into the earth, allowing your body to be enveloped, starting with the feet, slowly slowly moving up through the calf into the thigh, feeling the hip, the lower back, the shoulder, and then finally the neck and the head slowly sink into the earth. And as you continue to sink, allowing your body to surrender to the electromagnetic mechanism of the earth, allowing whatever wisdom to flow through you. And as you navigate and slowly begin to explore the world around you through your mind's eye, be aware, keeping one foot in this time and in this space. As you continue to breathe, allowing all that you are to express itself, allowing yourself to be as authentic and as free as you continue to breathe, allowing yourself to continue to surrender wherever you are. And as you continue to breathe for the next few moments, Rod is going to feel whatever intention, whatever gift, whatever wisdom that the universe is trying to provide through some light language.
Beautiful. Breathing in. Maratia, marati kira tu kura tua, marati kira tu kura tia. Maratikia, parakora tu kura tia. Marati kurati kira tu kura tia. Kurati kira tu kura tu. Marati kurati kurati kira tua. Maratia korati kira tu koratia. Breathing in. Breathing out, clearing anything that's in the way of your path. Morati kira tu koratia. Purakua, aligning. Balancing. Baratia, morati karati koratia. Morati koratu korati karatua. Moratia, morati korati karatua. And activating morati koratu kua maratu kiratu korati koratu borati korati kamaradi kiratu korati, anchoring in morati kirati karatua. Morati kiratu kuratika kuratika ratua. Breathing in. And then breathing out.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Slowly wiggling the fingers and toes. Allowing that movement to begin, moving up through the legs, the knees, the thighs, the hip. Continue out the stomach, opening through the heart and through the throat. And then finally, opening the eyes and reawakening the mind. Taking a deep breath in, coming back fully in this time and in this space. Thank you, everyone. This was a blast. Thank you, Rod, for hosting me. This was hilarious fun.
It was so good. And I'm just going to have the audience check in. We actually have some time here, Jason. So let's have the audience just check in with their sensations. Just check in with your sensations and just what came through for you in this guided meditation with light language. You may have received feeling lightness, tingles, Maybe your eyes were fluttering. Warmth. And so just allowing things to flow through. And if you didn't receive any of that, that's okay too. You may receive it in different ways. So what I know to be true is that the delivery of this activation connects with you in whatever way it's meant to, and with your senses in different ways. And you may receive downloads later on. You may feel different about a pattern that you often move into that you know doesn't serve or support you. And you feel a little different about it. You may have downloads that come to you in dream time. So just paying really exquisite attention to what happens in the next 48 hours for you and through you. Thank you so much for that, Jason.
No problem.
So I'm really curious, how can people get a hold of you? We are on a global platform. So of course, some people may want to connect with you, whether it's to just start following you, get inspired by you. They're really moved by your story. I would have no doubt. And then there may be people who are outside of our local area of Edmonton, Alberta, and they may feel called to check out your coaching services. So please let us know where you hang out so people can connect with you.
Thank you so much. So I primarily focus on Instagram because I'm a very visual person, and it allows me to post things, information, wisdom to my followers. And so you can find me at the AcuPsych. Again, that's the.acu.psych on Instagram. And then also, if you feel like you want to learn a little bit more about me or what I can do, you can check out my website at the clinic that I currently work out of. It's Ikigai Integrative. Again, IKIGI-integrative.com. And this will allow you to gain more insight as to all of the modalities that I do, the platform or the foundation of my practice, and the direction that I would love to go, as well as eventually the blog will provide deeper insight into specific issues that may come up. As for the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, go ahead, love.
Okay, sorry. I was like, okay. And then, of course, you can follow me on Facebook as well, although I'm not as active on Facebook. But for those of you who find that Facebook is a better outlet, again, you can look at Ikigai Integrative, and that will be the best way for you to gain information through Facebook.
Great. Can you spell Ikigai again?
Ikigai is IKIGAI. Beautiful, beautiful.
And what does that mean?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked this. So Ikigai is the Japanese word for purpose. But of course, it is so much more deeper than purpose. It is what brings your soul to life. What are you good at? Like, there's so many dimensions to what Ikigai means. And so if you look at the Venn diagram of all of the things that contribute to who a human being is and what their life purpose is about, that is what this word is basically summarizing or painting. And I loved it so much, I fell in love with it, as it describes exactly what I am trying to do with my life, and helping the people in this world.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. How did you come across this word?
Honestly, it took a long time. And it took about 2 years because there's no word that really you can find in the English language that describes what you're trying to do. And funny enough, my friend and colleague, Talina, was trying to figure out words for her clinic. And I digress. I laughed at her and I was like, that sounds like a cheesy dollar store acupuncture name. Like, why would you want it? And then Right? And
then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, can I use it if you're not going to?
Yeah, I was like, after she found her name, I was like, actually, this describes exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, beautiful. I love your stories. All right, we got a couple more minutes. I feel like I want to ask you a fun question. Okay, you are on an island for the rest of your life, and you can only bring 3 items. What are they?
Ooh, 3 things. Okay, Can I bring people? Am I allowed to bring a person? Oh my God, okay. My homegirl, Amy, she is my rock. So it's funny because I'm Pisces, she's Virgo. We are literally like, we need each other. I need her a little bit more than she needs me, but she is my homegirl. So I'm bringing Amy. I'm bringing probably a bottle of wine or like something tropical to drink because we need it. And then I'm also bringing some shade because I don't want to burn.
So good. Well, thank you so much for being on this episode, love. I had so much fun jamming with you and learning with
Me too.
About your story. Thank you so much. And for my listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And please check out Client Attraction Academy, www.sevenfigureconfidence.com/academy. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.